On Friday, December 9th, the 85th day of the nationwide uprisings, merchants and store owners in the city of Sanandaj, the capital of Kurdistan province, continued their general strike. Protesters in Sistan and Baluchistan sent a clear message of defiance to the regime as they took to the streets after Friday prayer. The strong presence of women in the protests can be seen in incoming footage. Anti-regime protest rallies after Friday prayer has become the new norm in Sistan and Baluchistan, despite the deadly crackdown and over 100 killed in just one Friday of protests. Heavy security measures by regime authorities, including the dispatch of large contingent of forces to the province on Thursday, were not able to stop protesters, with protests being reported in Zahedan, Khash, and Pishin. Protesters also showed national solidarity across Iran's ethnicities by holding signs that read, "Kurds, Baluch, Arabs, Azeris, all are brothers." This goes against the regime's long-standing campaign of trying to sow division across ethnic and religious lines. The people of Iran are united today in one goal: overthrowing the mullahs' rule. The protesters condemned the execution of Mohsen Shekhari and called for the overthrow of the regime, calling Khamenei a disgrace, and vowed to avenge the hundreds of protesters killed by security forces during the nationwide uprisings. With chants, "I will kill those who killed my brother," "Death to the Basiji and IRGC," "Death to the oppressor, be it the Shah or the leader." The protesters condemned the execution of Mohsen Shekhari and called for the overthrow of the regime, calling Khamenei a disgrace and vowing to avenge the hundreds of protesters killed by security forces during the nationwide uprising. With chants of "I will kill those who killed my brother," "Death to the Basiji and IRGC," "Death to the oppressor, be it the Shah or leader," protesters took to the streets. Protesters have demanded the release of thousands of protesters who have been arrested in recent months, many of whom are at risk of execution. In response to the brutal execution of Mohsen Shekhari, residents of Tehran's Sattar Khan district held large nightly protests chanting slogans against the regime despite security measures and chanted, "Death to Khamenei, death to the dictator, I will kill those who killed my brother, and we don't want a child-killing regime." In Kermanshah, a large crowd gathered to hold protests in the historic site of Tagh Bostan. Security forces attacked and opened fire to disperse protesters. Clashes between security forces and locals continued late into the night. In Sanandaj, protesters returned to the streets on Friday night to hold anti-regime protests. Protesters chanted, "Death to Khamenei," and called for the overthrow of the mullahs' regime. In Tabriz, northwest Iran, the resistance units projected a large image of NCRI President-elect Maryam Rajabi on a building in the city's Vila Shah district. The corresponding sign read, "We can and we must free Iran."